Hi, my name is Gracie, and today I'm here with my Biannual Bibliothon TBR, which I'm so excited for it. It's tomorrow. I can't wait to read 7 books in 7 days. Seven. So the first book is to read the group book, which is The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw, which I'm extremely excited for. This is also the book I'm going to be reading for the Mellifluous book club, which the theme is read a book set in the summer. And from what I've read in the synopsis, it's set in the summer. So very excited for this one because it's really witchy and I'm very excited for it. And I also heard that it's really fluffy and stuff, so your girl is excited. And look at the aesthetic of this cover. It's so pretty. And the second challenge was to read a book from someone else's TBR. So I asked my dear friend Sabrina, to let me know what her July TBR was. And she sent me a list of books that she wanted to read in July. And she said she doesn't know if she'll get to this book, but it is one she has on her TBR and she wants to read, but she will have to buy it. And that is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I'm not exactly sure. I don't actually know. Do I have it? Okay, I do have it in here. This is... I'm not entirely sure what all this is about. I believe it's a magical realism female romance, which very excited for. It's kind of like a medium-sized book, so I am hoping to get through it as soon as I can, and I'm just very excited. So excited. The third book is to try a chapter from 3 different books. And I tried a chapter from Don't You Forget About Me by Carius Quinn, The Unquiet by Janine Garcia, and I can't remember who wrote it. I think it's Not the Girls You're Looking For or something like that by Armina May. So basically I went to the library app and I was like, I'm gonna just go and pick some random categories for what books will show up in the young adult section, and then read the first book that is not in a series, is not an audiobook. And yeah, so those 3 books I tried. I couldn't get through the first chapter of both The Unquiet and Not the Girls You're Looking For. I was I think I got about halfway through both of them, but I got through the first chapter of Don't You Forget About Me, and also the title. Ooh. And I loved it. I wanted to keep reading, but I was like, okay, Gracie, you can wait for tomorrow. You can wait. You're fine. So yeah, I am very excited from what I got from the first chapter, and I kind of skimmed with this synopsis, is that every 4th year in this town, something bad happens to teenagers, and the main character's sister kind of possessed all of the teenagers into this march at midnight, and then she went and got hit by a train on purpose. So I don't know how to explain it. It was weird, but it was also really intriguing and kind of a thriller magical realism mix, and I'm really excited. The cover is gorgeous. Just so excited. The next one is to read a book that's been on your TBR for over a year, and I believe this one has been on my TBR for 3 years. So I'm a little scared for this one because it's long, it's a little bit old, and if I don't like it, I'm going to be really sad. So my aunt a few years ago sent me this gorgeous edition of Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery, and I still haven't read it because it kind of scares me, one of those books that I really want to read, but at the same time it's I have an issue with old books. I have a really hard time reading them if they're not an audiobook. And I don't think this one is as old as I've read before. 1908 is not as bad as some of the other books I've read that are pretty old. But with like the language and the kind of way that people tended to write pretty much any time before the 70s, I would say, is not super appealing to me, and I have a hard time getting through it because I don't have that great of an attention span. So I definitely want to read this. This is a gorgeous edition, but I'm a little scared, and I need all of my luck for this book. And if I only read 6, it's probably because I didn't read this book. But I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to read all 7. The next reading challenge was to read a predicted 5-star read, and I went with Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. I'm very excited because I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. Obviously, I picked it for my predicted 5-star read. But this book is about this girl, what's her name? Mara. Her best friend Hannah accuses Mara's twin brother Owen of raping her. And so I've heard a lot of really amazing things about this book and how the author deals greatly with the subject matter. And I believe the main character is bisexual, which is very exciting to me. I'm so glad just to own this book because of how pretty it is, and because I think even if I don't enjoy this book, just tackling that subject matter and how one is supposed to feel or who should take sides or what side they should take is crazy to me, and I can't even imagine that ever happening. The next challenge was to read an Own Voices book, but not something that you can say I don't remember the exact challenge, but like own voices, but not to you. So I wouldn't be able to read this one as Own Voices because Ashley Herring Blake, I believe, is bisexual, and I believe the main character is bisexual, but since I'm bisexual, I am bisexual, so you're supposed to read something that's different from you, but is still Own Voices. So I decided to go with Speak by Lori House Anderson. This is a book about a girl who is sexually assaulted. The author was unfortunately also sexually assaulted, which inspired her to write this book. But since that experience has thankfully never happened to me, I can use it for this challenge. I've been really wanting to read this book for so long because it just sounds beautiful and I can't wait. It's also very, very short, so I'm glad that I have a short book in my TBR because otherwise I would get really overwhelmed, which I already am a little bit, but I think I'll probably get through this one the quickest. And the last challenge was to read the last book you bought. And so the last physical book I bought was Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson, but I really did not want to read that book, so I was like, I'll just get an audiobook. And since I bought that with my credit, it counts. So I got Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessel, which I am very excited for. I was going to get Night Film, but Night Film is a 24-hour audiobook, and I was not for that, like I'm already overwhelmed. I can barely even finish an 18-hour audiobook in like 4 months. So I'm not entirely sure what it's about. From what I've heard, it's like they are like in a time loop, maybe? I'm not sure, on this island, like these 5 friends, and they can either pick one of them to save to get out of this island, this time loop thing, or they can all die trying to figure it out, which is like everything to me. Like that is thriller aesthetic. No, I can't think of the word. And if I remember, it's like 8 hours or something like that, so like a third of what Night Film is, so thank God. And yeah, that is my whole TBR for the Biannual Bibliothon. If I could speak, this would go a lot better, but I can't. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great biannual bibliothon if you are participating, and if not, just keep reading, guys. Bye.